All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Asian session. I'm your host for tonight's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're happy and grateful for all of you being here with us this evening as we close out the week, taking a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see how the week has gone and what we could be possibly taking advantage of in the future heading into Friday as we are headed towards the end of October already. Can't believe it. But we are getting close to moving into that holiday season, November and December, and the end of 2022. How fast did that happen? Well, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes. Let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear, please drop me a 1 in the chat. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. So let me get out of this screen and let's take a look at what's going on. So we come over to the Forex Factory today. We had the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index missed target, right? Came in negative 8.7. Okay, so for people that don't know, the Philly Fed above 0.0 indicates improving conditions, below indicates worsening conditions. Okay, and we see we came in below. All right, so it's a leading indicator, and it's a leading indicator in economic health. Businesses react quick to conditions and changes in their sentiment can be an early signal of future economic activity, such as spending, hiring, and investment. Okay, so it's a survey of about 250 manufacturers in the Philadelphia Federal Reserve District, which asked respondents to rate the relative level of general business conditions. All right, so just trying to see what's going on the ground. Okay, things are starting to tighten. Manufacturing output is starting to decline. I know there was a lot of talk going on today about Jeff Bezos said, hey, brace for a recession, but we will see. The market moves up, down, and sideways, and we're just going to proceed accordingly, right? Trade what we see. So that was the report today. U.S. unemployment claims came in under 214K was a projected 229. So that was good, right? So still chugging along. So you get some numbers that give you signs of we may start seeing a recession in the near term, and then you get numbers that say, oh, not maybe not so much. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We know today, right? We had a lot of FOMC members talking, and they pretty much are hawkish, right? Kept the hawkish stance, and we saw some of that impact when you look at the stock market and things like that. But the Fed's not going to pivot anytime soon. I know a lot of people keep trying to predict that, but I don't think that's a good idea to do that. So that's that. Friday, pretty light day, right? We got some core retail sales for Canada, retail sales month over month for the pound, but nothing unless it's way off base. Nothing should be a major mover for tomorrow as we close out the week that they're October 21st. So welcome everybody who just joined us. So if we go over to trading economics, we can see Japan inflation rate stays near 8-year peak. That's to be expected. The question is, what about it? All right. We think we have it bad here with interest rates going up. Argentina holds interest rate at 75%. They held the rate at 75%. Count your blessings, right? UK consumer confidence remains near record low. You guys let me know what you think. I know that we've had to rally because of what the Bank of England stepped in and did, but overall, I just can't build a case for long-term pound strength right now, considering everything that's going on with the energy crisis, inflation. So far, the Bank of England has been fairly dovish, I would say, with their hikes. They haven't been as aggressive. We'll see what happens. See what happens going forward. They seem to be tiptoeing around that. We got the turmoil with trust stepping down. So it's hard for me to build a case for a continued long-term upside move for the pound, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. So we'll see. Taking a look at the dollar index, we can see that the dollar is ranging, but it's staying resilient, right? It keeps pushing up. It keeps testing this level. Okay, and we've got a stochastic on a daily that's moving back to the downside. Before you know it, it'll be oversold again. It's not moving. It's not moving anywhere, right? In regards to momentum. So it'll be interesting to see if it eventually pushes through this level to the upside before making any deep correction, right? So before we're thinking maybe we come back down and retest that support, but that may not happen. We'll see. We'll see how we close out the week with the dollar. So all in all, it's still dancing around. Okay, but long term, still bullish on the dollar. Any questions regarding anything fundamentally in regards to fundamentals? No. Okay. All righty. Let's go take a look at it, right? The bond yields. Okay. And I was going to talk about this tonight, but didn't want to try to fit it all in within an hour. So what I'm going to do is we're going to cover that on Saturday. Right, so we can go into detail and answer questions about it. But you can see the U.S. bond yields up to 4.22%. Right, we were when it was pushing 3.5 before. Right, everybody was like, "Watch out!" But now made a correction and look at the push. Look at the push, 4.2%. Okay, so we flip over and right, Ebony. 4.2%. So when you look at things like this, you understand why gold is doing this. Okay. So which one would you hey, a pretty much guaranteed government bond that's going to get you, especially when you're looking at the 2-year note, at 4.2% in 2 years, okay, as an investor, or you're going to throw your money in the gold that really doesn't give you anywhere near that. Okay, so you can see clearly people are choosing the dollar. Of course, you have to buy U.S. bonds, but they're not taking the gold play. Right? They're not taking the gold play. So yep, definitely be here on Saturday for sure. So they're not taking the gold play. Gold. So we're looking for, as long as that yield keeps moving to the upside, okay, you can see the inverse correlation that's happening right now. Look for further declines in gold. And based on this 4-hour, all right, we're talking about a D extension that's at 15.14. So we'll continue to watch that and see how it plays out. Okay, bond yields up. As a result, right now, gold is down. People are choosing the US dollar. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at some pairs. And I just not too long ago posted the Euro Aussie, right? Got my eye on that one. Put that in the group because it's an 80-20 play, but it's pulled back. So I want to watch this one closely to see if we can get that to turn over and head on down to that 382, right? Or at least back to that 154.02. Okay. So I wanted to make sure we posted that because we got the trend line break and now we've got the retest of the trend line. All right. So if you want that extra confirmation and you're just waiting, we know it's in the zone, then what you could do, okay, right, is draw your counter trend line. Like this. Goes here. Okay. Okay. See if you get price to start to break down. Okay. So it's moving sideways now. So that's horizontal. We got our diagonal trend line. Okay. So you can use that or, okay, or, you know, you've got a support right here, 4-hour support. Bang. Okay. So you may say, hey, I'll use both, or I'll just wait and see if price is going to break that 4-hour support. Okay. And give me what I'm looking for. Now, developing a trade plan, marking up our charts, using proper risk management, we control that. Okay. So when I'm looking at things like this, when it hits my zone, it's in my zone. Okay. I'm not gonna overthink it. All right. This is my play. This is my play. I map out my risk management, and then I'll let the market do what it's gonna do. Okay. But you got to use proper risk management, because you got to live to fight another day. You got to stay in the game. Okay. And that's the biggest mistake that people make, is they over leverage. Okay. Don't need to do that. You guys have to keep in mind that these are huge, huge moves. Okay. That we're looking to take. So to the D extension is 225, to that 382 is 255. Okay. That's in one move. Right. So you always have to keep that in mind. So yeah, we may navigate the charts 2-3 days out of the week, and you know what, there's really nothing there, but there's always something just around the corner. And trading is one of those things where you don't have to be in the market every day, okay, to make everyday type money. You don't. It's a 255 pip move. Okay, it's 255 pip move. Now when you start combining that with other moves, that starts to accumulate. Okay, so think about that. Patience. Right? 10% buying, 10% selling, 80% waiting. Okay, waiting. All right. So that's the Euro Aussie. That's a 1 hour play. We'll see what happens, right? I'd love to see that break that 4 hour and give us a push down. Okay, and come out of the zone, and it just keeps hovering in. Okay. So that's a potential setup there. So when you look at where you have your stop, okay, just above that A, call it 70 pips or so. And if it stays in that 61.8 range to your D extension is 230, right? Like we said, 255 or so. That's a fair risk to reward there. Okay, and those are the type of setups that I like to try to take advantage of. Any questions on the Euro Aussie? No, good. All right, all right. That's that one. I am looking at hold on one second, everybody. Okay. I am looking at this this CAD again. Of course, we're all keeping an eye on these yen crosses, right? Because the yen is just getting demolished again, as it has all year, right? No surprises there. But anytime I get it to start sitting high in the zone, right? This is a 4 hour. This is a type 2 fib, right? That I spotted off that breakout. Okay, so we got that breakout off the 4. Let me zoom this in here. Okay, so yep, ultimately long, projected 1.618 D extension eventually, right? It's what we may think looking at that 4 hour fib, but right, this is a nice impulsive move coming out of that breakout. And I'll be interested to see if we can get that correction there, okay, to the downside. It's fighting, right? But we got a nice, right, wick that formed right up around that 118 level. Okay. So it'd be interesting to see if we can get a downside push to that 382. Okay, so we come off of where we are now, it's 147 pips, okay, to the 61.8. If you're looking to buy, it's 243 pips away from that zone. Okay, we know these CAD yen, the yen crosses have been iffy, right? But you know, it's price action nonetheless. Okay, we can see here if we move up to the 15, where see how it's just moving, it's moving sideways. Okay, moving sideways. So it broke down a little bit, and now you got some equilibrium there, and you got a little fight going on again. Okay, that is just moving sideways, but it'd be interesting to see if we could start getting price to break down, right, through these zones. Okay, through these zones. You move your trend line to the outside of the consolidation if you want, or you can leave it sitting right on top of support to see if we can get a breakdown. All right, so that's one to keep an eye on. Is that CAD yen? Any questions? No?
No, sir.
All right. All right. My man Ryan, what's going on?
Bro, not too much, man. It's been a
Busy day.
fun day. It's been a fun
I know,
day.
right?
Getting better and better, man.
I know. When it's an entire day, we ain't called each other for at least 2 minutes. I know something is up. Something is up. We both have busy days today, man. So I got you. Anything that you read fundamentally, or anything that anything new?
No, nothing's changed yet. I've been, peeking in periodically on the Japan Times to see if anything pops up there, but no major changes at the moment. I gotta get an update on the Russia Ukraine scenario and and the China US situation. Haven't updated on those in a minute, so or either on Saturday or early next week, I have an update on those.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
Man, no doubt, man. Appreciate you.
Now, this pound, I want to look at this pound CAD, right? Because it gave me a little something earlier today that it moving to the downside. So I'm interested to see, right, as that momentum starts to shift, if we creep back up in that sell zone. If it hasn't moved anywhere, I would love to see this push to the downside. That's a nice trade. Look at that rejection off the daily level. Those trades oftentimes don't look like much, but that came down 300 pips already. So I would love to see further downside momentum on these pound, on the pound pairs, period, because a lot of them are sitting in some pretty good positions. So this is the 4, and we haven't taken out the A yet. Okay, so we would like to see it move back to the downside. Okay, there, it's 337 right back to that support, and it's already moved 300 off the resistance level, daily resistance level. So keep an eye on that one. All right, that could be another one, another big one, another big mover. Okay, got support. See, if you want to eye support levels, see if they break first. Okay, let's continue to watch and look for opportunities on these pairs. We know that it doesn't stay like this forever. Okay, waiting game. Okay, waiting game. Any questions on the pound CAD? No?
No, sir.
All right. So I want to go and take a look at this pound yen. And you can see, right? Look at the reactions off of those daily levels. Now, I didn't put an aggressive trend line on this, but you can see, look at that move. Right, as low as 225. All because you guys know how to mark your support and resistance levels. Okay. All right, you can play that. You can play that game all day. Now it's just a matter, right? I left this here. It's a beautiful trend line, and so now I just want to see when it gets to this trend line, is it going to bounce and break through that 169.95, or is it going to break trend line and continue to go south? Okay, that's. I think that's going to be up to the Bank of Japan, right? What
Facts.
What you know what I mean, and what needs to happen with these yen crosses. But I tell you what, I'm taking a look at these charts every day, and I will be here present when it happens. Okay, so that's the pound yen. We're at a crossroads here. We got price reacting at daily resistance. We've got a nice kind of trend line going. I just want to see what happens. Just want to see what happens. So mark that one down at pound yen, right? Critical area on the pound yen. And I want to take a look at this pound dollar, right? Because it continues to bounce around. Be patient, right? If you haven't been in it off of one of the highs, then look, we got a 4-hour level here. Let's see what type of reaction we get. See if price can come down to this 111. And if we break it, let's keep moving south. Right? Let's keep driving south on that. Stay bearish. Right? Because this, that's right. I think I took my fibs off when I was just going over price action last night. But within the AB boundary around the 61.8 zone keeps hovering. And so we're looking for a break. Because I just can't, like I said earlier, I can't build a case up in my mind to be, especially against the dollar, to be bullish, you know, with this pound. Something would have to change. Not with the, not with the yields being where they are, the bond yields right now. Dollar strong, right? People looking at the dollar as a safe haven as well. That's a really good deal, right? First job is to preserve capital, keep it safe, but I can keep it safe and get 4.2%. That's hard. That's hard to turn away from. Okay, especially with all the volatility in the stock market. So, yep, that's the pound dollar. I wanted to take a look at the UJ. All right. 4-hour chart, we're steady pushing up around this 118, 127 zone. Small candles. There's been small, very small candles. It's getting tight. Okay. I want to see if we eventually can get a reaction here. All right. Look at that. We've seen some crazy stuff with this yen. With this yen this year.
Listen.
This is unbelievable. It's just slowly winding its way up.
So what's interesting is the Bank of Japan, they said that they don't want to see any aggressive moves. So like looking at this, they're not super aggressive. There hasn't been any pullbacks, but there hasn't been any super impulsive pushes.
Nope.
To the upside. So like are they okay with that? I don't, it's wild.
I don't know.
It's wild.
It's like, would you rather just be punched by Mike Tyson or jabbed for 12 rounds by Floyd Mayweather? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, like, I don't know. Like what? Because this is just a slow grind to the top above 150.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it comes down to, Reese. I don't know. I don't know if it's just. It may just come down to, hey, profit taking. When they intervened, it was the first time since '98. They really believe in the free market. Play. They don't step in like we know the Swiss National Bank and some other major banks around the world. They tend to let things play out. So maybe it's they the more and more people get speculative about this 150 level, then maybe you get people starting to take some profit that'll drive the price down.
Maybe.
So I don't know. It's maybe that could be the fireworks tomorrow. It's a quiet Friday setting up. So
the other thing too is, and the last time they intervened during the week, but do they wait until the weekend? Because back in 1998, yeah. They did it on the weekend, right? So that's the other piece to it is, are they waiting until the liquidity is low and they get the best bank and they can get the best bang for their buck?
Yeah, I bet that was a major gap too.
Man, yes.
coming out of the weekend. But Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this D extension is at 153.96, man. To move that, to move to move to that level without, any type of major correction, at least to retest 145. Um, that's 400 pips. But
Yeah.
I mean, but I've been sitting at a stoplight before and look at my phone and the bottom just falling out, of the yen crosses. So we'll see. And you're sitting there just mad because I'm like, what am I going to do at this stoplight? So stuff you go through as a trader, I tell you. So here's the the dollar Swissy, right? Head and shoulders, broke the neckline. So we're this look, we're right there at that parity level at a dollar. The dollar is resilient, right? So we may get that push and that break and that continuation. Right? We drew this up a long time ago and it's steady making progress. Just creeping. Just creeping. Be interesting to see how long it takes to get to that 107. But that is the dollar Swissy. Okay. Now this level here has got me. I've been eyeing anybody. Has anybody been eyeing this level? This dollar level? I know I have. All right.
Yeah.
Mary, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, I've been looking at that, but those are like some all-time highs, so I was kind of like, should I get in? Because I'm not sure how far they're going to go.
I know. It's intriguing,
Yeah.
right?
But if you go to the monthly or something, they're not been that high probably for very, very long time.
Yeah, let's I'll clear this. Let's go and take a look at the like look at that.
Yeah.
Right?
Hasn't been that high for a while.
Yeah. We're getting up there. What is this 2019 102? And this is, when you when you look at it from these levels, you're just like, man, one day I'm gonna be the best position trader in world history. Like, this makes you just want to sit on a right. This makes you just want to sit on a weekly chart and just ride it, right? Maybe use your daily or your 4 hour to add to it. But this is where when you really master the fundamentals, right? Which I have a good grasp of it, but to apply it to these long-term type of setups and build out these huge ideas like the big boys do, as to why this dollar was going to continue to stay long for the entire year, and it's been on a run. Like it's amazing when you can get to that level. Like that's just been long. And when you're day trading, you're trading in and out of a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, this has been bullish through all the waves and all the craziness. This has been for 2 years. It's just been moving up. It's just been moving up. So it's fascinating when you look at it. And you're seeing the same thing that they see. All right, so there's your monthly. Right? When was this? This was 2011. Huge bullish candlestick there, and it's just been sideways, and now it's pushing up. Interesting. So that's the dollar Swiss. So I am watching that level. That's a nice round number, and it is struggling. It is struggling, but we've got a nice rebound on the dollar. Nice rebound on the dollar. We got a nice ABCD wave working itself out. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it hits that $1 level again. Now, if it holds, it may be major relief time at that point. All right, but we'll see. That's the dollar Swiss, so make sure you guys eye that up. All right, we hold at that level, we form another swing high. Hey, Start dripping some positions in there. 104. Gotcha. For sure. For sure. All right, but bullish overall is dollar CAD. Look at that. Look at that push. Dollar's playing no games. The CAD's not necessarily weak right now either. Not necessarily weak. Look at that. So this is still intact, right? So you can see how big the setups are, right? So this is a 4 hour. We spotted the Gartley. Yep, it's moving sideways. It's moving sideways. But it hasn't hit any stops, right? So we have to think about that. Hasn't hit any stops. It's holding above this 137.12 weekly level. Okay. And it's choppy and it's ranging, but hey, it's still from that projected 268. 268 from that level. Okay. So that's when you go down to those lower time frames and look for potentially, areas to get in, right? If you didn't come off this low, that was a beautiful opportunity there off that bounce, but yeah. You dimming on in a demo on a small time frame. That's cool. That's cool, but that just keeps bouncing, right? That's what is this? This is up almost 70 pips. All right. So that's the UCAT. I want to check. Let me check silver. Just moving sideways. Downside and sideways, not much. It's going to stay bearish too, I believe. And we're going to look at crude. It's kind of flat. It's kind of flat. Between that 86 and 82. So you got a lot of this week in the market. A whole lot of it. Things just moving sideways, right? But it'll break out. Right? ABCD waves will start moving again. Did anybody take that? I sent it out. That pound Aussie off the cloud break last night. Anybody play that?
No, I didn't see it till late.
Oh, you sleep. Every said you was asleep. Yeah, that one was a wild one, man. It initially stopped me out above the cloud with it, and then it collapsed. It collapsed. So I initially got taken out on it, but then it went in the direction. It ended up pretty good. Those move fast. They move fast. So I'm still trying to figure out a good way. Sleep, that would have been a nice binary. Yeah. It ended up panning out, but after I got stopped out once, but still trying to figure out. Wait, Ryan, what are your thoughts on that as far as being able to get those up like in time? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out too, because you got to be timely with it. You know what I mean? And we don't.
Yeah.
The thing about it, guys, is we don't want you guys to try to jump in it too late, right? And we put the disclaimers up there, but we know some people still try to do it even though it's already taken off, right? So with those moving at the pace that they do, it's shorter moves, right? So we're just trying to figure that part out. And to answer the question, bro, I don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta figure something out. If we can. If we at what point, do we post them? Because they move fast. They're still hanging in that pound Aussie. Yeah, because that's perfect, Evan, because we had identified it right earlier that night throughout the week from the higher time frame. And then isn't that awesome, right? How you can just go down through the frames and catch it. Yep. From Saturday set up and catch them on Monday. Well, I guess if we catch them, like if we spot them where after the market closed and it's looking like it's in the perfect position. But those type of setups just, especially when that volatility, Sunday, okay, especially when that volatility kicks in, you know, coming out of that Asian session in London, like it goes crazy. So, but yeah, good job, Ebony, hanging on to that. Just continue to manage your setup. But once it got going, it got going to that downside. It was a quick mover. That's why I like them, but we got to make sure that people are in the right position. So it's a timing thing for sure. Any matter of fact, let me I still have that up. Let me see. 5 minute, 1 minute. It was way back. So you can see it here where it this is the move right here. I know it looked crazy, but this initial one, right? I had my stop above the high and it pushed me out. But then you see where it came back down and got going, and then it just collapsed, right? So on the 5, man, that made a nice run. Then it broke back through. But on the 5, it's cleaner on your 5, right? So right here. So this was the move. See how it pushed down? So here was early on the 1, and then it pushed back up and got that high. So when I click back to the 5, because that's where we originally spotted the setups is on that 5, and then we look for that cloud break on the 1. So it was early, right? It hung in there and it bounced. But when I clicked back to the 5, I seen exactly what it was doing. And once it broke, it made a nice run to the downside. It came right back through those 2 levels. So we'll continue to play around with it to see what's best, right? Right for it. Ryan, maybe we post a 5 minute and know that you have the option to go down to the 1 for the break. I don't know.
Yeah, we could do that, right? Because it's all within the sequence as well. So we could do that.
Just post a 5, yeah. But once that thing got going, it was gone, right? And those are, you're done, right? So once it came back through that cloud and closed, right? It's over 100 pips to the downside, and that's on the 5 minute, right? Spot it up. So we'll continue to work on that. But those are for people who have the time. Joy, I'm already in it to the downside. That would have been a good second entry. Yep, you can use it for that, right? So we go. That's a beautiful point, right? We go from the top down. So this can be, when you come down to these lower time frames, could be opportunities for additional entries, right? So we look to drip trades in for those longer moves. Okay, so that was those are fun. Those are fun, and those, even when you have, and that's the beauty of understanding, you know, fractals, right? And different time frames. Even when you have a market that may be choppy or moving sideways, those opportunities, right, are there. You know, on your lower charts, 5 minute, 1 minute, those are there throughout the day. So that's pure day trading. You're in at 180.61. Oh goodness, 180.61. You all are getting good at this. 180.61. You guys, you tell us this stuff, and sometimes I'm checking myself, like, where was I at for this for that type of entry. Nice work.
Great work.
From the daily, I went to the daily and just saw an 80-20 and just calculated risk and got in and just walked away.
Just walked away. You got to make sure you throw that in there for everybody, that you just walked away. That's it. Walk away. Yeah, that's it. Over 200 pips later, and it's stochastic back in the sell zone on the 1. It's great work. Proud of all of you. Yep. So that's that. But like we say, those are cloud breaks are happening, all the time, man. Right? Where you can find those setups. The key is being able to spot the U-turn points with your fibs, and then looking to get yourself in position. All right. For sure. Congratulations. Congratulations. Any pairs before we wrap things up? In a slow market week on these big swings, any pairs you want to take a look at? Anybody? Gold. Yep. Go back and take a look at that gold for sure. You're welcome. Yeah, I can go back and look at gold and oil. I went through those pretty quick, so I go back to them. This is gold, right? Looking for further declines in gold. That's how I have it drawn up on the 4. Just a continuation down with the bond yields being so high. All right, bond yields high, looking for further declines in gold. And then on the oil front, oil is kind of just dancing around. Okay. Kind of just dancing around. Hard to call it right now. All right, we got a nice little push up, but now we're back below that 85.72 level. So we may move down. You're talking about something that's super fundamentally driven, especially with everything what Biden is doing to try to bring these prices down and stuff like that. It can, plus what OPEC is, the reduction is hard to gauge that right now for me anyway. I mean, but technically, I mean, you don't have. I mean, just on this small leg here, we broke back below that trend line, right? Almost broke back below. We're holding here. We formed a high, so maybe we push back down. What do you guys think?
I don't want to lose my position.
You long?
Yeah, I went long, and once it got to the peak, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. But MetaTrader 4 wouldn't let me, was acting up. So I was like, maybe this telling me just to hold my position, because it wouldn't even let me. For some odd reason, my market closed at 5 o'clock, and it won't let me do nothing. And depending on what time, like the day, it won't let me do nothing. So that's on one of my other brokers. And I just like, well, I really don't want to lose my position, because what if? And I'm in a real good position of where if I close out now, I'll still be in good profit, because I'm holding 2 positions down there. So
manage your trade. It can go either way. It can go either way.
Benny, can you run a fib off that low on the 1?
Oh yeah.
There's a thing I was looking at on this one earlier today and yesterday.
Which low? This low or this low?
That one.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking at a crown pattern on that. So this is like the formation of the right tip.
Right here? Okay.
No, so it's a larger pattern, but this area right here is a formation of the right tip. But the low point is your middle.
Yeah. You're talking about here to the upside.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm looking at on that. We'll see if it plays out from a fundamental perspective, but
what am I missing on that? Definitely a crown. I'll have some
lift that left side up a little bit, maybe.
There we go. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So on that sub fib off that right tip, you're sitting at a 50% retracement right now. So we'll see if that 50, 61.8 levels, if those hold.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, we know OPEC said they're going to reduce output, which you think naturally, hey, that can strengthen the oil price because of the demand, right? The lack of supply. But then what threw the wrench in it for me was, the oil reserves and what Biden is doing.
Yeah.
So that kind of, you have to do from a historical perspective, what typically happens when that move is made, you know,
Right.
how it impacts technicals, what it looks like technically. I had to go back and try to find out because it's not often that they do it. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Kind of in that here we are, the crown, but we get a break back above 85.72, then right? That builds the case for
So,
further momentum to the upside and just play the levels back to 88.
yep.
Yeah.
It would be so
Yeah.
nice to be able to draw patterns and not not have to involve fundamentals, but yeah.
It just looks so pretty.
Yes, yes. Let's just draw pictures.
I'm gonna leave that there, man. We'll see how that plays out. That's not a bad trade idea at all. At all. I guess. Let me see here. Euro USD, Euro NZD. Cool. Let's I need to peek at the Euro USD. We'll make our first stop at the Euro NZD since we're coming from the bottom up. Yeah, so what is everybody thinking on this? I did see this earlier. I saw this one earlier. This is kind of just choppy, is bouncing. I don't think we're getting we had earlier in the week, we had the commodity rally, but listen, I don't see, right, with you got Bezos talking mess about recession, things are tightening. We saw the Philly Fed manufacturing, right? The output is declining. I have a hard time thinking long-term strength on commodities. So I'm thinking eventually back to the upside on this. That's from the one. But I mean, it's ranging obviously in the zone. This is the four.
Could we get another push down before next week? Right? Because don't you have Euro monetary policy coming next week?
I think so. I think they are due up at the end of the month. Everybody else, I think, is moving into November, right? But then they're Thursday.
Yeah, they're Thursday. So my thought on this one, because even on a higher time frame, we've been sitting in the 80-20 zone on the daily for a long time. Could we get one more push down at least to that 170 level? Right? Maybe we don't get all the way down to 167, but do we get another push down to 170 before next week? And then if the ECB comes in on target or above, that's the catalyst for it to push back up.
Yeah,
maybe
that could be a play, right? So that'll put you at the bottom of that range. What a mess this is, right? What is this that's going on?
Kudos to Ebony, man. She been hanging on, man. She got a nice entry off this one. And
good deal. Yeah, that's gonna have that's some decisions to make on this one. We'll see. I mean, you can't break out. You break out, you're hitting the D extension. So we shall see. We'll see how it's out. That'll be nice at 170 though. At 170. See what type of reaction we get there. Say that again.
I'm practicing this thing to where once I set it, like don't even touch it. Like just let it go. Yeah.
All right. And it takes work. I still have to work at it. Right. Me and Ryan talk all the time, like, what? Like, why? Like, no, we're like, well, what happened? We didn't hang in there.
It's just like the Euro Swiss, man. I should still be sitting there. I took profit on it, and but no real reason to take profit on it, right?
Yeah,
but
that's how you know his mindset, man.
That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this Euro USD, which, yeah, I mean, I'm still overall bearish. We don't have, like, here's a weekly D extension falling in line with a daily D extension. So, you know, I'm not looking to buy. I'm not looking to buy it at this point. Where that's at, right? On the 4, we've already got a 50% retracement, so I'm not gonna buy it. I mean, if it pulls back, this would be lovely, right? Back into that zone, that daily level. A double top, definitely shorten it. But right now, I'm in no man's land there, right? Maybe something on the lower time frame since it's forming that high. Right? Maybe that's something there. That's the 1 minute. Go up to the 15. I mean, even still there now, that's sitting pretty low. You at least want to see a pullback, right, off of this impulse here. See, you could just eye that up, right? Tell what that's doing. So maybe, right, we get in that zone, you know, a day trade there, back up to the 382 for the counter, or just wait for the price to get in the zone to get short. It's just all comes down to your style, how you want to handle it. Yep. So that's it. That's all I got. Anything else? I think that was it. So hey, I expect things to get rocking and rolling. We're getting towards the end of the month. This has been I don't know about you guys. It's like this is gone in a flash.
Man.
October. Like it's the 20th already. That's unbelievable. Weather changing. And so hey, things will pick back up for those swings. Things will get going. Right? Up, down, and sideways. Prices gotta go somewhere. So I gotta figure out what whole year gone, just like that. This zoom by. Right, I gotta figure out what, because it's just like it's a lot of lag in the market. So read up on some
could
stuff
be,
tonight, man.
I'll definitely do some reading too, but it could be, you know, we're approaching the end of the month, and they're trying to get some insight on what's going to happen for the month of, even though we got a week and a half left, but see what's going to happen, because the majority of your rate statements are coming next month. So
True.
it's more of a retracement consolidation period
Type of month. Yeah.
you know?
I think so too. And with these, I think everybody's, you know, making those boardroom decisions and jockeying where they're gonna move their capital, right?
Yep.
Going forward. But this that whole UK thing, and then just the bond yields for US 10-year, 2-year note being at 4.2 is insane. So it's kind of got the market on pause, I guess.
And I guess to your point too, right? You with some of your bigger players coming out, you know, talking about hold on to your hats, right? They could be, you know, making those preparations to make some of those moves, which in theory could then be potentially larger moves over the next month or 2 months.
Yeah, that's true. And you get the mixed signals, right? You get the mixed signals. You got Bezos, but then you got Jamie Dimon not too long ago, right? Saying, hey, customers, consumers, the money's still moving.
Yeah. And I think I was reading another article. It was either article or interview I was listening to, but they were saying that a lot of these companies, they still have access because there was that much much out there for them to get. Yeah. Right. So with them still having access, they haven't blown through it all. Which could ultimately still lean in favor of the Fed, right? And continuing to move forward as they plan, because there's still excess money out there.
Yeah. So that's I guess I say that's when you really get concerned, right? When the access to capital starts to shrink. Right now it's just costing more.
Yeah.
right? For the liquidity. It costs more because of the rates, but the access, like we said, is still there. So they haven't shut down those, those streams. It's just costing you more to play ball. But nonetheless, we are where we are. Hey, that's it. All right. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your Friday. We'll get back and hit it strong on Saturday. Ryan, anything before we close out?
Continue to be patient, man. We look at these lower time frames with some of those intraday trades. One of the things Ben and I've been talking about is like looking at the duration of the trades we hold and what the win percentages are and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, the percentages play out in your favor over time, right? The lower time frames can give you some quick hitters, but you really, as you're getting down to those lower time frames, you have to be extremely disciplined when it comes to your money management, first off, right? But also not holding those trades too long, right? Know how much you're looking to get when you go into those scenarios and leave it alone after that. Because you could easily fall into the trap of over trading, right? And you win one or two trades, you get up a couple $100, a couple 100 pips, and next thing you know, you gave it all back because let me get one more, right? So as we're looking at these lower time frame scenarios, be very diligent when it comes to not only your risk management, but also looking at how you exit that trade, be it a 2-to-1, right? Or looking at a certain number of pips, 50 pips, what have you, getting out and moving on and not trying to get more and allow that greed to take over. So, but great work this month, everybody. Great work. Great session, bro.
Appreciate it. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being members of the Inner Circle. And we will see you all on Saturday morning. Have a good night.